game.
Yeah, Ice Rod and Medallion Go modes are definitely the worst. And it looks like we're starting off here. And the uncle giving us a nice tip about how to get past that gate at the Aga Tower. We get an early map check. Looks like we had a pendant in Eastern Palace and a 5/6 crystal at Desert. And here we go. The uncle item today is the hammer. Ooh, and Dustin with 2 very quick early bomb drops. That's very nice. And Ben gets his as well. Looks like 1 bombs is just the early prize pack for these green guards.
Yeah, so neither runner will have to worry too hard about farming a bomb for the back of escape.
And the nice thing about a hammer start is not only does it do tempered sword damage, it is probably the item that unlocks the most locations in the game.
Yep, indeed. That is one of the 3 items that the runners will need for early Dark World access, including a Moon Pearl and the first glove upgrade.
Interesting that the blue guards are in the fairy prize pack.
Yeah, that is rather interesting. Escape being one of the few places where you really don't need a fairy, usually.
Man, those green guards definitely are dropping a lot of bombs, though, and even more bombs in that chest.
Yeah, so we're not just set for the back of escape. We'll be able to route Kakariko pretty efficiently.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to need to buy any bombs this seed. Alright, let's see what we have in Zelda's chest tonight. The Moon Pearl. Very nice early find. So now our runners are only 1 lift upgrade away from Dark World access, and we're not out of escape yet.
Yeah, it's always pleasant when... Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. I was just gonna say, it's always one of those things in B29 though. You might get a lot of things early, and then you are searching for that one item for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's always kind of frustrating, like when you get like a ton of options available to you early, and then you're supposed to just go to nail down one specific place.
An early glove, though, would make this a very open seed. We could see a lot of divergence if that's the case. Of course, already having our bombs, our runners are just making their way through the back section of escape. No need to farm. And we have Bombo's medallion.
It's not going to be the most helpful thing until they get mitts and a sword, but, you know, like you said, medallion go modes are kind of crummy, so I was going to get one of the medallions out of the way pretty early.
And the good thing about Bombos as well is that it can be used to clear Ice Palace if the Fire Rod is not found. And a whole lot of nothing in the back 3 chests of escape, unfortunately. Alright, let's see what we have. Blue Mail and Mr. ajneb174 has his favorite costume, the banana hat.
Nice.
Now, will these runners make the anxiety check or not? It's a good question. It looks like Ben's working his way up there. I think that was just a red potion, right?
Yeah, just a red potion.
Alright, so we do not need to do Aga for the bottle, unless that's the only bottle of progression and Sick Kid has an item, but that's a rare situation considering there's 4 in the game.
Yeah, I would be extremely surprised if that bottle were required.
I would have to save the seed for the future if that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that tree pool. 8 bomb drops. Alright, we're making our way down to Kakariko. We're gonna check Blind's Hut. 5 items here. I think the game really wants them to have bombs.
Oh, and there's our... Yep, Aga's... I mean, we can't say dead until we get that glove upgrade, but that pretty much goes Aga, I would imagine.
And there's the glove upgrade.
Yeah. Didn't take long.
Alright, so now we have a lot open to us. Dark World is very much open, and it'll be interesting to see how both runners route from here on out. I mean, we did get the swag net. We could still do Aga.
You know, just give them a visit, have some fun. So I think in the race that might be, you know, maybe a post-race thing if they're feeling bored.
Other than that, not a whole lot in the well today. Not a whole lot in the chicken hut or on the bottle vendor. 20 more rupees from the sick kid, just giving us his allowance. And I think Ben just robbed the tavern of its money.
Yeah, just snuck in from the back, took 300 bucks, and he's running away.
Library just has a big heart for us today. Boots are still a maybe. And Ben making the play to just go mode the maze game, and Dustin's checking it. Just the shield upgrade. Now Ben started at Sanctuary. I think he may be setting up a hula hand here.
Yeah, probably just want to take care of rupees, and also, I'd imagine, probably going to show off a little bit.
Does not read the tile today. But I really wanted to make sure he had enough rupees. Probably going to fake Flipper up to Zora and just get it done. Oh, and Dustin's going to Hype Cave.
Yeah, putting that Dark World Activist immediately to use.
Oh man, I'm hoping we can get a menu check later and just pause the screen.
Well, we at least know we finally got a bomb upgrade.
Not a whole lot on Ben's side from the well, just another bottle, and it looked like a piece of heart. Ben's gonna have to be a little bit careful here of his bomb count, but he survives with 2. That'll let him do a Ice Rod Cave and the back of a Sarashalas if he goes there. The red mail, a mushroom, and some arrows. Not a whole lot in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, the Smoldorm not protecting too much of interest.
Oh, Dustin does have the hook shot. That's something I didn't notice. So it's probably in Hype Cave. It looks like Dustin saved and quit after digging game since he doesn't have Titan's mids. So now he looks like he's going to do the South Shore route. Meanwhile, Ben looks like he's about to set up a fake flipper.
and then swimming all the way to Hobo before he goes to Zora, and that makes sense. He's probably trying to clear everything out of this area before he goes any deeper into the Dark World.
Yeah, Hobo's one of those locations where maybe 99 times you check it out of sequence and he doesn't have anything, but then sometimes he could just have that game-breaking item. Now, unfortunately, today it's just 5 rupees.
And that Hobo probably had to work so hard for those 5 rupees and then just ruthlessly took them.
Alright, so we're going to get a waterfall check and a Zora check. Life lesson or progression today? I'm personally calling life lesson. It's more than likely just going to be like piece of heart. And I think that's the last bottle, actually. Ben now has 3, and the 4th was the ajneb.
Yep, I believe that's right. All 4 bottles have been located. Oh, Ether on the Zora ledge.
That's an interesting one. We'll have to see if that'll be necessary later. And Ben getting a nice life lesson from the King Zora. It looks like Ben's going to go ahead and check Sahasrara, at least the hut. It'll be interesting to see if he checks Eastern. I'm going to bet he doesn't, and probably would go up to Death Mountain after this. And dustsen is making the play up to Death Mountain right now. Now, the good thing for dustsen in this case is since he did check Hype K for the hook shot, he'll be able to go to East Death Mountain as well.
Yeah, there's a ton of item locations that are available on East Death Mountain, and without a map check, we're not quite sure why he'd be making the sequence break. Maybe Thieves Town ends up being the last pendant. I think it's a very good play making this quest up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, the old man in the mountain didn't have anything good for us today, just a bomb capacity upgrade. Ben, while he was at Sahasrara's hut, did learn that Swamp was the green pendant, and he did acquire half magic. Now Ben gonna go ahead and go buy some bombs. Man, if all the bombs they got early and then just down to 1 there. And we get a map check. I saw a pendant turtle rock, so that's always a nice troll. So we had a pendant turtle rock, we had Ice Palace as the other 5/6 crystal. And now we're actually seeing Hype Cave.
Yeah, so that is confirmation that the hookshot dustsen found was in Hype Cave.
Aside the most important arrow in the game. Oh man, really wanting to know what's in Paradox Cave. We're gonna have to hope for a menu. Ben, on the other hand, is doing what Dustin did earlier and just clearing out the South Dark World checks that he can. Ben doing his signature M here in the digging game, and he gets 20 rupees. And Dustin's character sprite has green gloves, which actually would be the Titan's mitts. For some reason the gold gloves look green in the game. And Ben is not going up to Death Mountain right now. He's going to go ahead and take the Dark World portal in Kakariko.
Yeah, so Ben's staying on sequence. One thing to note is that I don't think Dustin had a sword when he was setting up that bomb jump. So he may have been a little bit hesitant to go to Thieves Town, lacking a sword or the Cadence of Mario to make the blind fight a little bit easier. But Ben, I don't think we need to tell anyone that he's really good at this game, so he probably doesn't really want to do Hammer Blind, but he's probably going to go ahead and try it anyway.
Yeah, and we have Dustin in Tower of Hera right now, and by the second floor symbol on the screen, I'm going to assume he got the big key. Ben is going to check out Skullwood's 2 items here, 2 unique items. No fire rod, so can't go to the back, so we're going to be hoping for something in the front. And a piece of heart is the first item.
Then no small key, so he's going to have to make a long walk around to get the guaranteed key out of this chest.
Yeah, for those who don't know, this chest is always guaranteed to be a small key just to prevent soft locks. If you don't get a small key in one of the other 2 chests, you would be locked in the back of that trap room there. Ben's going to go ahead and check out this one more chest that he can to see if it's an item. If not, he has to bounce out of Skullwoods for now. Dustin is making his way up Hera. Not sure what his current item count for the dungeon is, but he's probably heading up to fight Moldorm at this time.
And then we also don't know if he's found a fire source on Death Mountain, so if there is something locked in the basement, he may not be able to get that.
That is a very good point, and that's one of those things where if you have to leave something in the basement in Hera, you really don't want to have to come back for it. It's such an out-of-the-way location. Ben's going up to go ahead and check the Bumper Cave ledge, and it is just a piece of heart today.
Oh, and according to Chad, apparently on Dustin's personal tracker, he may have the lamp mark, so he does have a fire source. Which I would imagine he found on Death Mountain, so the flute is somewhere down here. Potentially in Thieves Town, but maybe elsewhere.
Yeah, so the flute has to be somewhere off the mountain since that lamp is sequence broken. And Ben finds the shovel in the bombable hut in Village of Outcast. I'm kind of liking this little Link sprite just standing there in the darkness. Oh, there's a menu from Dustsen, so yes, he does have the lamp. He has the cane of Burna as well.
Yep. And we're also confirming that the green on Link's hands are the transmits.
Alright, we're getting a Thieves Town play from Ben. He has the hammer. He can full clear this. It's a crystal. Of course, red mail makes this place a lot safer as well. Not that I would think that Ben would have any issue with it, but in green mail, some of these enemies can really hurt.
Yeah, as far as potential hammer blind goes, you know, he has red mail. I think he found a red potion, so he should be pretty set.
And it looks like Dustsen is going to open the Turtle Rock portal. Hopefully we can catch what the emblem necessary is. Oh, and Dustsen does have a sword. Alright, so Death Mountain is fairly loaded, so it'll be interesting to see when Ben makes his way up there, whether he decides to sequence break it or whether he finds the flute here soon. Ben hasn't really found anything of value in Thieves Town yet. He's just making his way through. Dustsen is, I'm sure he's checked Hookshot Cave and Slipper Bunny by now, and probably left the mountain, or unless he's going to Spike Cave with that Cane of Burna, but can only guess at the moment.
And it looks like our tracker for today, Planswalker, has let up the flippers icon on Dustsen Tracker, and we have the cane from Thieves Town.
Well, that's a nice find. That's necessary for Mire. It doesn't really give us anything right now for Ben in terms of progression, unless he finds the flute as well. But the flippers is another big thing for Dustsen. That means Death Mountain was huge. Oh, and the bow for Ben in Thieves Town. That one does give him more to clear. Now he can full clear pod if he chooses. Alright, so the front of Thieves Town was empty, the attic was empty, but that prison area was loaded. We're seeing my favorite blind fight from Ben here, some Mario blind. Of course, any weapon that can damage blind does the same amount of damage, and you need 3 hits per head. And it's fun to just hit them with the block and with the fireballs. It's the Mario.
Yep, indeed, and it's also a little bit safer than the hammer fight because you do have a range attack with block, like you don't have to be right there to hit him.
From Dustsen's screen, I'm going to assume he's on his way up to Skull Woods and making the same check that Ben just made. Alright, so Ben's just going to go ahead and check that shovel right now. Just get that done and over with.
Yep, this makes sense. You've already cleared out all the Dark World stuff in this area, and with Swamp being a pendant, you have to allow for the possibility of a mirrorless seed. So yeah, this makes sense, and it's just 10 arrows though.
So he started at Link's house, still not making the play to Death Mountain. He may be going to do Pod. He may do Eastern as well. We'll just have to find out.
Pull out the hammer, so I'd have to imagine that this is Pod incoming.
Alright, so we're seeing Ben make the play over to Pod. Does have enough money for our favorite resident extortionist, Kiki the Monkey.
It looks like Death Mountain was also kind of stacked with money because it looks like Dustsen has the same amount of hearts as Ajneb, but 1,200 rupees.
Yeah, that mountain play definitely gave him a lot, and it's just gonna be a where's that flute is the question right now to actually put all that back in logic. And there's Ben's first sword right there from Pod, and Pod was bow locked as well. Depending on where that flute and where the fire rod is, this could be fairly quick seed. Death Mountain obviously has a ton of progression, and logically it's limited behind that flute. So finding that flute might just unlock everything for Ben on this seed. Alright, let's see what's in this vanilla big key chest of pod. There's the flute! So now Ben can make his way up to Death Mountain, and everything up there will now be in logic, and he may go ahead and check what medallion is necessary for Misery Mire as well. Well, once he gets the Titansmids off of Death Mountain.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine Death Mountain would be his next play after he clears Pod, because obviously we know that the Seed wanted you to double dip Pod if you're following the logic, but, you know, ajneb's obviously an experienced runner. He definitely knows his Dark Rooms. He shouldn't have a problem navigating today.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. Since the lamp was up there, this technically should have been a double dip of Pod, but any runner in the bracket stage are more than comfortable doing Dark Rooms. Just a key from that first dark chest. It's always interesting when to watch the dark chest because some items don't show up. Those are both dungeon items and they both showed up. Alright, now we have this dark room for Ben, the Dark Maze. This is personally probably my least favorite dark room in this game. 3 bombs out of the first chest. Not sure what that was in that bottom chest though.
Did they get the big key yet?
You may be right, it may have been the big key. Ben's trying to set up a death warp since he doesn't have the mirror.
Oh, just...
Unfortunately, with red mail, bombs do like a quarter harder damage, so this may take a while. Chat's saying he already got the big key, so we'll just have to wait and see. I didn't catch anything in that menu.
And neither did I. I can't remember if upgrades show up in the dark or not.
Yeah, it may have just been in a bomb or an arrow upgrade, because I didn't really catch anything new in his menu.
Right, yeah.
Alright, time for the Turtle Dark Room. This is not the easiest dark room in the game, especially when you don't have the fire rod to light those torches.
Yeah, and ajneb only on fighter swords, so we're going to be seeing some blind hammer strats going right now. Oh, or bombos. Bombos is also helpful.
Yeah, Bombos will kill any he flipped over. Oh man, he actually flipped all of them. He just made that look really, really easy. I was about to say Ether is nice for that room because it'll light up the room for you at least for a split second, but you know, just hammer and Bombos, I guess.
Yeah, you know, just do the NMG strat where you just do a few hammer pounds and then bam, bombos. That was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we have Ben here going for the hammer kill, only having the fighter sword. Gets it done easy.
Yeah, you can also use arrows to kill Helmasaur, but hammer's faster.
Alright, so you would have to assume that Ben's going to go activate his flute and probably go straight up to Death Mountain at this point. And there's the unstuck duck for Ben.
Yep, the chickadee is free.
Oh, this is interesting. He's gonna waste all that magic slowly with Cane of Samaria, so he can do a fake powder glitch. You actually have to be a little careful you don't use Samaria too quickly. If you just spam Samaria, there's a glitch in the game where you get a little bit of magic refunded to you, so you have to space it out, get a nice rhythm for it.
Yeah, looks like Ben was pretty well in rhythm for that.
And fake powder is one of those interesting glitches too. You use the Cane of Samaria, you get that error noise, and you switch over to the powder and immediately use the mushroom, and it acts like the powder.
Yeah, when you play a game over and over again for 26 years, you're bound to find some really interesting stuff, like, you know, the new Mire tag or glitches like this here. It's really interesting what people have found.
Of course, with the fake powder done, now he can just go ahead and turn in the mushroom and see if it actually holds any progression for us. Unfortunately, just 20 rupees, so now he's going to make his way up to Death Mountain. Now, I believe Ben's going to get his 10 bomb upgrade, I think it was, from the old man here, and then make his way over. Alright, let's gonna take a check on what's on and in Spectacle Rock. Just a magical boomerang on the top and a piece of heart inside of Spectacle Rock. So he's going to go over to Paradox Cave now, and he should be getting, I believe, Lantern and Titan Smiths from Paradox Cave.
Yeah, everything on Dustin's tracker that has been filled in for Ben should be getting filled in short order here.
Oh, wow. Well, there they are. The Titan Smiths and the lamp right there, you know, just on the bottom of Paradox Cave.
Oh, nice Moldorm kill.
Yeah, just carry the bomb. You have red mail. It barely hurts you. Oh, and he's gonna go ahead and catch it. Oh, well, no. He tried to catch a fairy, but he's actually, I'm gonna laugh if he recaptures the bee. He got the fairy, though.
Okay.
He actually did recapture the bee.
I mean, come on, just refill your magic and keep your bee friend.
Bee is angrily following him now.
Bee friend wants to be with you. Come on, man. Oh, man. Goodbye, bee.
Alright, so now we're going to get the hero play from Ben and see what's actually here. Oh, did you catch what was on the floating island? I actually did not.
You know what? I didn't either. Sorry. Oh, according to chat, we just had an arrow upgrade on the floating island.
All right,
I think
it's looking like we're getting confirmation. It's just an arrow upgrade. I apologize. What were you saying?
I was going to say, like, we might be able to get confirmation if Ben decides to open up the Turtle Rock portal.
So we're about 50 minutes in. We're about to get the third crystal here for Ben, and let's just do a quick rundown. What does Ben need for go mode at this time?
He needs Fire Rod for sure.
Oh, unfortunately, he gets Troll Door in there. He potentially could need boots depending on Desert or on GT.
And he'll also need a way to enter Desert, either the book or the mirror.
That's correct. So he should be finding his flips soon, since Dustin did find them, probably in Dark World Death Mountain. And he could potentially need a medallion depending on what Misery Mire actually is.
Yeah, because he already has Bombos, and we know where Ether is. So unless it's Quake, we should have the Mire medallion.
And now we got the nice slow, you know, just little jog through Spiral Cave. Take your time, Link, it's alright.
Yeah. You know, a nice little walk. Refresh yourself after that Moldorm fight. You deserve a break.
Oh man, there's Master Sword. That's a very nice find. We didn't mention a sword upgrade earlier when we were talking about Go mode. That must have been the sword that Dustin got up here on Death Mountain. There's the flippers. And more bombs!
So it is Ether for Turtle Rock.
Okay, so now he has the flippers. He can actually go get Ether. He'll probably hold off. I mean, well, he doesn't actually need to do Turtle Rock. I'm sorry. It's a pendant this time. Of course, we could always have the nice possibility of Fire Rod and Turtle Rock. That's always fun.
And imagine with both Ice Palace and potentially Misery Mire available to him, he might be holding off on making any Turtle Rock gambles.
Yeah, I don't anticipate him going to pick up Ether unless Misery Mire actually requires it. He is going to go ahead and check Spike Cave, though. Just a little bit of love in Spike Cave. I'm going to guess he's going to flute to Mire area and try to clear that out. He could do Ice if he wanted to, but nobody likes Ice Palace.
Yeah, especially when you're only on Master Sword and Bombos. Like, you can do Ice Palace, but you probably don't very much want to at this point.
Alright, so let's see what is going to be today. It's Bombos, so he can actually do Mire now. Nothing really of value inside of the Mire shed, but I anticipate he's probably just going to go ahead and clear Mire now.
Yeah, you're right there. It's a crystal dungeon. You can completely clear it out. Wouldn't make sense not to.
Alright, so we still need Fire Rod, and we still need a way to get to Desert, either the book or the mirror. And we could potentially need boots, either for Desert or for Ganon's Tower. So, I have the feeling that anytime you come into Misery Mire looking for items, you get a God Mire. And anytime you don't need to look for items, the big key's like in its vanilla location.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like, you always talk yourself into Mire saying, oh yeah, well, the difference between Go Mode Mire and, you know, normal Mire is just, like, isn't really that much depending on Big Key location. And then Big Key's just in one of these first two chests.
Alright, just a small key on that bridge, though. No Fire Rod for Ben yet, so he's going to have to do the slow approach to lighting all the torches in this room and in the vanilla Big Key room if he chooses to do that one. And he's going to go ahead and choose to do the vanilla Big Key location right now. He hasn't gotten a single item or the Big Key yet.
Yeah, you'll see some runners try to avoid this chest, especially with Lamp, but Ben has been playing the seed pretty thoroughly, so it doesn't surprise me that he's clearing this while he's in the area.
Unfortunately, just the map this time. Oh wow, there's the fire rod. So, you know, after we had done that long lamp lighting session.
Oh, and Ben remembering he doesn't have the big key, so he needs to check this chest before he goes to the big key chest.
And just a 5 bomb capacity upgrade. So that's both items out of Mire, but that fire rod is a very nice find. I would have thought that he may have been hoping to find either a mirror or book, just so he could check desert at the same time, but now he'll probably go swamp or ice after this. Swamp, sorry. Skull Woods. Swamp Woods, yeah.
No, they both start with the same letter. I made that mistake too.
Every time I track, I mix those up at least once.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of talk recently about the new Mire tech. Unfortunately, no boots, no fire rod when he first entered, so no chance to really do that.
Yeah, the spooky action glitch is a really cool glitch to check out if you ever get a chance, but yeah, not in this race.
If you ever check out some of the NMG matches, though, some high-level NMG matches going on right now as we approach the end of the NMG tournament, you'll see that glitch and many other ones done to perfection. The runners left are excellent runners.
Yeah, I believe they just wrapped up the quarterfinal round, so it's the last 4 on the Speed Gaming Networks.
We're getting the lag Vitreous fight here. Super safe though. Just spamming Master Sword, can't take any damage. Just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, you only have 25 arrows. Each of those small eyes takes 3 arrows, and you need 8 for this big eye. It makes sense to go with the safety.
Alright, that's crystal number 4 for Ben. So now we get to see which one of these remaining crystal dungeons will he go to next. It'll either be Skull or it'll be Ice. I will say most runners prefer to go mode Ice if at all possible, but there are 3 items there, and I believe there's only 1 item left in Skullwoods that he didn't find?
Correct, yeah, I believe there's just 1 item left. I think Skullwind makes some sense because, you know, you may potentially be only 1 item from Go mode, so if that 1 item happens to be on Moth, you can take care of it pretty quickly, and yep, that looks like that's where he's going.
Now we have Fire Rod, we have Half Magic, Master Sword's good enough, and we have Red Mill, so this should be a fairly simple Mothula fight. Alright, Ben's about to drop down for his Mothula fight, just making sure the hand doesn't grab him as he's falling down. That's always a fun thing to see. If you never realize that, the hand can grab you as you're falling down into the Mothula room.
And I believe that too is also a glitch that's exclusive to the Japanese 1.0 version of the game that we run on.
And Mothula is down. And he gets a nice Tempered Sword upgrade from Mothula. It's not progression, but still a very nice find, especially before he's heading into Ice Palace. Alright, Ben is just getting his health refill from the old man, and this should be a flute to 8. And there he goes. So what do you think? What will we find here in Ice Palace? Progression or just a whole lot of nothing? We still have a couple options on the overworld to check besides dungeons.
Yeah, I'm hoping we find progression here, but you know, we do know where that Turtle Rock medallion is. But yeah, as far as overworld goes, we have. I don't think either runner's gone to do the pyramid check or the catfish. Well, we don't really know what Dustin's been able to do, but we haven't seen the Smith sequence, which isn't logic, even though they don't have the Mire. Yeah, there's also Eastern Palace, but
yeah, I know Ben is hoping there's something here, because if not, it's about to be a very much just an open world search for some kind of progression. That little Stalfos kill trick was one of the most satisfying things to learn how to do in this randomizer.
yeah, it really is. Like, I recently picked that up myself, and it just feels so powerful, just like hurling that pot. It's really cool.
Ben failing the first bomb jump here. There he goes on the second. I don't think he was close enough to the pit the first attempt. Yeah, to answer some questions in the chat, yeah, it could be, if it's not an Ice Palace, it can be literally almost everything. Smith chain, purple chest, all of that, even with no Mire, you can save and quit, and that is assumed. So save and quits are definitely part of the logic. Alright, so we're oh man, still nothing in Ice Palace. We're getting some questions about pedestal hype. Let's run that down real quick. Turtle Rock being a pendant and Swamp Palace being a pendant eliminates a lot of items in the game early on. Now we know that Mire can't be on the pedestal. Book could very well be on the pedestal, and the boots could be on the pedestal. So if boots are required, they could be behind the pedestal. That Mire, though, is what Ben is really, really looking for at this point. I would assume that he would prefer to see that show up than the book.
I mean, either way, he gets access into Desert Palace, which is the main thing we're looking for. But yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about pedestal until we find the Ice Rod. Oh, nice cold steer fight from Ben.
Textbook cold stare there, and 5th crystal. So now the fun part. There was nothing in Ice Palace, so where is progression? Let's see, Ben may be doing pyramid at this time.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else in this area for him.
Yeah, unfortunately it can't be Pyramid Fairy either since Desert is a 5-6 crystal, so this looks like Pyramid to Catfish more than likely. Just 10 arrows on the pyramid. So this is that part of the seed, and it seems to always come up. You get a lot of items early. Death Mountain was loaded, but now you're looking for one more thing. And you have a lot of checks that it could be.
Yeah, and while we obviously can't see Dustsen's screen right now, this is the type of seed that could favor Dustsen in this matchup. Like, you know, obviously Ajneb is a very high caliber runner, so if you have an open world seed that may come down to like one particular gamble, that can really make it easy for you to catch up, assuming, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's which location did which runner gamble, and if Dustsen made a different check and he got his progression, he could very well be in the lead right now. Alright, so it looks like we're going to get the Smith chain here from Ben. Not a whole lot more left after this. I believe Agina's cave hasn't been checked yet. Is one more one-off location he can check. After that, he may have to dip Turtle Rock if nothing comes up. And chat bringing up a good suggestion as well. He has not dipped Eastern, and that could be progression right there and early on access in the game.
And going Eastern before Turtle Rock wouldn't surprise me, simply because we know where the Ether Medallion is. It's over on the Zora ledge, which he already made the sequence break over to Zora, so he may not be willing to walk all that way to the Zora ledge just to go into Turtle Rock and spend, you know, like 5 minutes in that dungeon for the potential bust. So I can understand the thing behind what Ben's doing here.
Or, you know, the answer could be on the laser bridge, and that's just about the worst case in this scenario. Just 300 rupees from the Smith, so purple chest Agnes Cave, Eastern. Not a whole lot of great options, honestly, right now, because Purple Chest takes forever without the mirror, and so did Smith's, just having to save and quit for each one of these checks. To answer some questions in chat, yeah, Ben does know where Ether is. Ben also did fake powder before turning into mushroom, so he won't make his way back up to Ether unless that's really the last option he has. This seed with the bombs is pretty much all he's been getting. He is going to go ahead and walk over to Agnes Cave now and see if it's there. If it's there, it's been accessible since the very beginning of the game. And thank you, Mike Callow, for the 100 bits. We appreciate the support to Speed Gaming. Just 100 rupees, so we're down to Eastern and we're down to Turtle Rock.
Yep, there's 5, so it's Eastern Palace.
Now, if it's here in Eastern, that's never a great feeling, because you know that it was accessible so early. Unless it was maybe on the Armos Nights, because then you would have had to have gotten the bow from Thieves Town. But we're about to find out. Thank you, Vulgar Latin, for the 100 bits, 101 bits as well. Thank you for your support, Speed Gaming. So nothing so far. And thank you again, Mike Callow, for your continued support of the Speed Gaming channel, your 102 bits.
Yeah, I also want to echo the shout out to the supporters. That's really cool.
Just a piece of heart, so nothing yet. And that's a big 20, so we're running out of options here. And thank you very much, Lonk of Hyrule, for your bit donation as well. I love your username.
That is a delightful username, yeah. The last time is going to be all the way back with the Armos Knights.
Well, just one more thing left, and that's the Armos Knights here. And if it's not here, we're going to Turtle Rock. And that is an empty Eastern Palace, wow.
Yikes.
Guess what, everybody? It's time for some Laser Bridge.
Yeah, first we have to make the swimmy swam all the way over to the Zora Ledge, and then on our way to Turtle Rock.
Now, I believe we mentioned when we saw the map check, Pendant Turtle Rock, it has the potential to troll you, and unfortunately that was the case. And thank you, Vulgarland, for your continued support of speed gaming. We appreciate the bits.
I mean, sometimes you end up going into Turtle Rock saying, oh yeah, everything's always in Turtle Rock, Laser Bridge 100% of the time, and then you find nothing there and you just wasted a few minutes, but then you get seeds like this where it's like, maybe this isn't Turtle Rock this time, and nope, it was all along.
And Ben has his screw attack. Ether, screw attack, same thing.
Sure. It's a circle with a lightning bolt, I get it.
I think we have a bit of a bit war going on in the chat. We appreciate all you guys with your continued support of speed gaming.
Yeah, thank you again, Mike.
All right, do you have any calls on where our progression is going to be in Turtle Rock? Oh man, he got Dead Rock too. That's unfortunate.
Do I have any calls on progression? You know, given that they got that blue cane up here on Death Mountain, Laser Bridge is looking pretty depressingly likely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm thinking that might be the case. Now, I mean, worst case scenario, if the boots end up being required and end up being somewhere like Mimic Cave behind a mirror somewhere else.
And that is interesting. Like, if you get the mirror or the book pretty early on in Turtle Rock, would you continue on and search for the boots?
That would be a tough call. I may just go ahead and leave if I find mirror, but it's with desert being the last crystal, it's a hard call to make. Alright, we got an early big key. We're gonna see if there's what the two items over here on this side are. No boots to do any blue cane dashes, so we're just gonna abuse the hookshot iframes there. Oh man, if this had been a crystal, this was a perfect setup for a go mode Turtle Rock.
You know, it always feels that way, doesn't it? Every time you get Crystal Turtle Rock, the big key's in the vanilla chest, but every time it's suspended, you get something like this.
Alright, our first item is just a piece of heart. Another possibility is he just finds boots here and nothing else, and then he has to go do Bonk Rocks or the King's Tomb.
I do enjoy that bunny sprite.
Yeah, the Nature League bunny sprite is pretty good. And then again, our sprite developers, they do an excellent job on all their work.
And we have Chad asking what are the odds of boots required for Desert Palace. The last match I called, I learned that it's pretty much a 50-50 shot whether or not boots are required for Desert.
Well, nothing so far, so we got the one chest in the roller pin room, and then it's time for Laser Bridge. Now, if the seed was really mean to him, they could, oh, there's the powder, but we've already powdered, so. If the seed was really mean, it could give him boots to go grab the ice rod to come back and kill Trinex for the mirror.
That would be pretty gross.
Or, you know, Mire could be the first chest on the Laser Bridge. That works too, I guess.
And then Ben knows that last chest is going to be a key and he can't kill Trinex, so he is out of here.
Yeah, and Trinex only has the map anyway, so now he's going to go ahead and check Mimic Cave. Alright, nothing in Mimic Cave, so now it's time to go ahead and do Desert Palace. Now, if it's boots locked, we're still not done here. And Ganon's Tower, obviously, could still also be boots locked as well.
Alright, this is a moment of truth right here. Nothing on the torch, so there's only a 1 in 22 chance that we are not in go mode right now.
Yeah, that's good news for Ben there. Oh man, there's the ice road. Luckily, we know that Trinex himself doesn't have anything, but I mean, I guess Boots could still potentially be on the pedestal.
I guess they could be, but I don't think you'd ever feel that behind to make that gamble.
Oh no, you're gonna go GT first after this for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you, Link8, I believe, if those are Roman numerals, for your support of Sweet Gaming. We appreciate the bits. Alright, time to make some easy work of Landmo here. One spin, and then 2 fire rod shots on the other 2, and that is perfect. Alright everybody, Ben now has all the crystals necessary to open GT, so we like to play a little game. What's that game that we like to play?
I believe that's going to be the big key guessing game, where you type a number between 1 and 22 in the chat, and yeah, whoever gets the guess correct gets a spot on our leaderboard. So I believe to earn a spot on the leaderboard, you have to be subbed to any one of the 6 Speed Gaming channels, or you need to have given 250 bits or more to any of the Speed Gaming channels.
Even if you haven't, everyone always likes to throw their guess in the chat. Get your guesses in now. We have to close it off when he enters GT.
So where do you think that big key is going to be?
I'm going to be kind. It's not going to be on the torch. I'm going to say Rando room. So, depending on the routing, I'm going to say 13.
Alright, fair enough. I usually go 19. I like to see Ganon's Tower.
You like to get the whole scenic tour of the whole thing, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Alright, we'll be closing it off here in a few moments. Oh wow, silver's in the first chest. You know, that's a good start, you know, to the tower. But let's see, he's gonna go ahead and go right side, check these 4, probably mirror out after that. Unfortunately missed the Samaria block there.
Decent recovery though.
There's our bug. So many options if the boots are necessary.
Alright, this is a really exciting moment coming up. Ah, man. Well, I'm in good.
We are in go mode. Now that torch was also check number 7, I believe.
Yep, number 7.
Number 9?
Number 9.
Alright, chest number 9. Congratulations to Wags NYC. Oh man, it's moments like this. I really wish we could see how close. But no, we'll get the correct information for the crowd after the race is concluded.
Yeah, unfortunately, there were some unforeseen difficulties on Dustin's side. Assuming that he has a local recording on, he'll still be able to submit his results, so this match will be valid no matter what. So, yeah, we will get you the results as soon as Ben finishes.
That said, Ben is just making his way through the gauntlet now.
Those last 2 rooms cooperated with him pretty nicely.
And the silvers just making that look so simple.
Yeah, we had 2 landmo fights this seed, but feels like we never saw them at all.
I mean, at this point, this is mostly an academic, just Ganon's tower. There's really, he has a lot of safeties. It's going to be up to potentially falls, if he falls. Moldworm's always a jerk.
Yeah, the gauntlet part of this run is usually just pretty heavy on execution. Like, there's no real randomness left. It is a kind of cool counterpoint to the initial escape sequence where you're just, like, you know, killing enemies on your way up the tower as opposed to, like, you know, killing enemies on your way down to a basement. But, yeah, pretty much as execution, and Ben's been making pretty short work of it.
And Moldworm 2 is down, and now it is time to do Aga 2. We're about to see if he gets some good patterns on Aga 2 or not, or if he gets some less than optimal ones. It can be really, really hard if he lines up the wrong way, but I'm pretty sure Ben could probably make short work of it still.
I think Ben's pretty brushed up on his geometry homework.
Those last two hit kind of close and may have only counted as a double, I'm not entirely sure. That is another double. So that first one did only count as a double. One left. And there we go. Alright, it is time for the Ganon fight. This should be fairly simple. We have silvers, we have tempered, just 12 slashes per phase, or spins cut that number down. And silvers will make quick work of phase 4. Of course, not having the boots, he can't do the boot strats where you stay in the fire circle there.
And looks like he just barely missed getting the one-on-one on this fight. Pretty friendly with warps today with Ganon.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. And there's... So he got a double and he's lined up for another double right here. And that is GG, assuming he doesn't walk off the bridge.
All right.
All right, everybody. And Ben finished with an official speedracing.tv time of 1:45.12, but finished in second place. Dustsen finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 41 seconds, and 41 minutes and 24 seconds.
Yeah, so GG to Dustsen. Unfortunately, we're not going to be having an interview because these racers are going to be performing 2 races back-to-back, so hopefully the commentators for the next match will be able to ask them what the difference may have been. I kind of think it may have been Dustsen not making that sequence break and being able to get ether when he went to King Zora.
From reading in the race channel, actually Dustsen didn't go to Eastern Palace, so that saved him a few minutes there. Ben went into Eastern and full cleared it.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
So just that one difference right there could have decided the whole race. Our runners were within 4 minutes of each other, almost exactly.
Yeah, so good job to both of our runners for keeping it close. And yeah, GG to Dustsen for eking out the win.
Yeah, GG to both of our runners. Now, since we're not going to have any interviews, I believe we're going to do a handover here pretty soon. They will be racing again. Hopefully we can get a stream situation settled out perfectly. But for anybody curious, yeah, local recordings are pretty much mandated by the tournament. We highly encourage runners to do so for these kinds of situations. So don't worry, Dustsen won this race, and it is, man, I really wish we could have seen that.
Yeah, indeed. That looked like it was super fun.
All right, since we're not going to do the interviews, I believe we're going to go ahead and sign off right now as our as comms while we wait for the second crew to come in. There's going to be a short delay between the matches while we work on the stream issues, and hopefully we will be back soon, and you will have a new pair of commentators, and hopefully we'll have a fun race to watch.
Yep, looks like you're going to be in the capable hands of Koblalala and Stan.
So thank you for our tracker today as well, Mr. Planswalker, and thank you as well, Walshy.
Yeah, thank you. This was a really fun race to commentate.
And we'll see you guys in the next race.
Have great days.